I mean, you crafted it, you have to work with it, so you're comfortable with what you have there. That's the main thing that it's workable, so.
Very good.
I think they all got to do it.
And now we'll do it together.
Okay,
Move to approve the resolution.
right,
Thank you. Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes,
Kushner.
yeah.
Thank you.
Next one, resolution. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Warrensburg accepting a proposal prepared by Mike Keith Insurance for property liability and cyber insurance for fiscal year 2024.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you this evening is the renewal for the property and casualty insurance, and I apologize because I picked the physical impact from a document that was previously presented to council back in 2020. So to update those numbers, as in the proposal that's included in the packet, it shows the property and liability quote at $414,765. The fire pack at $45,626, the cyber insurance at $15,660 for a total of $476,001, which is the highlighted numbers in the proposal packet that is part of this document. And the budget for 2024 is currently adopted at $423,430. So there is additional money that will need to be appropriated for this policy as we go through. However, with insurance, anytime we dispose of a vehicle or a piece of equipment or purchase a vehicle or a piece of equipment, those numbers change on a regular basis.
That's the way.
Out of a $45 million plus budget, I don't know that $50,000 is a lot to be concerned about, but just wanted to make sure it was very transparent that the actual budgeted number is lower than what this premium proposal brings. And Mr. Christian and Mr. Mike are both here from Mike Keith Insurance. Either one of them are also happy to answer questions if you have questions in relationship to this.
I just have a quick question, which is, I guess, how do you keep our rates low? I mean, sourcing this out and talking to multiple companies.
Yes. So on a periodic rotation, we will go out to the various carriers that we work with that will insure a city or a county or any other public entity. We do that on a regular basis. We don't do it every year purposely because it can create a adverse market reaction. If we go to the markets every single year on your behalf, the companies will get tired and they won't provide quotes anymore or as aggressively. So we watch every year and see how the trend is going. This year, an 11.4% increase overall, we felt like was really good. Over the last 5 years, you guys have had several claims. We can go into another meeting if you'd like to talk about that. But you're trending well. The claims are good. You have a good loss history, but the insurance companies have paid out on your behalf considerably. And with 11.4% increase in what we're seeing in the marketplace right now, we're in the hardest market that we've had since the 1980s. And the 1980s are when the pools were created for public entities because private insurers weren't participating in this marketplace. So all things considered, we feel like you're in a good spot. And we do keep your fiscal interest ahead of our own. We were telling Marcella that we understand that your insurance, your property and casualty insurance, is probably your #1 non-revenue generating expense. We're very sensitive to that. So we watch that every year for you all. And we fight very hard, believe it or not, behind the scenes to make sure we bring you the best term possible.
Thanks. Thank you, Marcel.
Resolution.
Move
You
to
too.
approve resolution. Thanks, Eddie.
Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes,
Kushner.
Yes.
Thank you.
8.3, resolution approving a managed deer hunt. Resolution approving managed hunt program for the 2023 deer season. Mr. Deal, there's been lots of people asking about that lately.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. As stated in the memo, this is the resolution authorizing a managed deer hunt within the city of Warrensburg parks and other city facilities. in the meeting with Missouri Conservation, they gave high praise to the first annual hunt that we had last year, which was reported to the park board. And we are very happy as staff and park board to recommend this second annual event. At the recommendation of the Conservation Department, we are extending the hunt by starting earlier this year, which is November 1st, and also going through to January 15th. In addition, we will not be closing the park areas during the hunt this year, as this is considered to be the norm as stated by Missouri Conservation. There will be signs posted at the about the managed deer hunt, mostly at the trailheads and entrances to the hunting areas. And there is a mandatory orientation that all hunters must attend, which covers the safety and importance details of this program. As also stated, there will be 33 hunters selected by random drawing for designated hunted areas, which is listed in the chart that you have in your information and also on the attached maps. This program falls under the strategic plan of community pride and interaction. It also helps with the overpopulation of deer as recommended statewide program by Missouri Conservation. All hunters must have a current statewide archer's deer hunting permit and provided proof of hunter's education certificate. There are many rules listed under the City of Warrensburg managed deer hunt that you have in your packet as well, which all hunters will also receive. And as previously stated, all of this information is covered in the mandatory orientation that they have. So in conclusion, it is staff's recommendation that the mayor and council pass this resolution, and I will answer any questions that you may have.
Are they still being assigned those spots then?
There are 33 different hunters that will be, and there are those selected areas. The random selection is for the hunters, and the random selection will also be for the designated areas.
Okay.
Is the university doing one again this year?
I'm sorry,
Is the university doing one this year also this year?
I'm actually not aware.
I,
I have not heard.
Okay.
I think they are, but not official.
Okay.
And it's still remaining bow and arrow,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Anything else? No? Move to approve resolution.
Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes.
Kushner,
Yes. Thank you, Chris. Next, we have a resolution authorizing the destruction of records held for the required period of time based on the Missouri adopted records retention schedule.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is a resolution to authorize staff to destroy some records that are fairly routine in nature. I can stand for any questions that you may have.
What records are they?
In the packet, it went into like.
And how old are they? What typically how old?
Some are 1 year old, some
Okay.
3 years old to 5 years old, so it's kind of whatever was required for that item.
You're
Move
good
to
with it,
approve.
Jody? right?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes.
Kushner,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. We're up to 8.5, a resolution in support of Astor Springs, a proposed apartment housing development for senior citizens in Warrensburg, presented by Ms. Brewer.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Astor Springs is a proposed apartment housing development for senior citizens in Warrensburg, Missouri. The proposed developer is R.R. Jennings Developer LLC. The location is the North Ridgeview Drive between Gay Street and East Young. It would include a single 2-story building that will house up to 44 1- and 2-bedroom units for residents age 55 and over. We have not seen in any plans or any drawings, schematics, or anything that has been approved and gone through our regular process. However, as this is being, the developer is proposing for those low income tax credits, they need a letter of support or a resolution from the city. We wanted to make sure that we noted in the resolution that this approval, this resolution demonstrating support is not in lieu of our regular review process or any of the approval processes that we have with community development, public works, or fire. So this is really just approval of the concept of senior housing and supporting a senior housing development in the city of Warrensburg.
Do we know the actual location or just the generalized?
So it's the lot, I don't have an address of the lot. Barb, do you have an address of the lot? I don't believe it's been addressed yet,
Oh, okay.
so.
It's north of North Side Christian, on the west side of the road. So.
Oh, that
very
low
large
spot.
Parcel that was
Mm.
previously owned by Myers, I believe.
Okay. Any other questions? Motion by one of you.
Motion to approve said resolution. Thanks. Thank you.
Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes.
Kushner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appearances to the council not listed on the agenda, nothing? There's nothing there. Gary, nothing?
Can I say something real fast?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to let you guys know, since you're the people that I work with on a daily basis, that October 6th is my last day with the Star Journal. Thank you for welcoming me into your community. It's been fantastic here. You guys were a great first job. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know so you didn't think I disappeared on you or anything. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Miscellaneous matters from the mayor or council. Been a busy, busy time for everybody. Anything from you two?
No.
All right. City managers report, Mr. Dillon and crew.
I will open it up to me, the department directors that wish to address the governing body.
Thank you, scouts, for coming.
Thank you.
Mayor, council, I'd like to advise you that our SWAT team just came back, our joint SWAT team just came back from Iowa, Camp Dodge in Iowa, and they had a week-long SWAT training. It went very well. I commend them and all of our officers that stepped up to the plate. As short as we are, we had detectives working the road and filling positions on nights and day shifts, so they did a really good job there, and that training was excellent for them. But those officers that also went, they take so much pride in working for the city that they didn't charge for breakfast. This was something they did on their own, and they bought lunch meat or bought stuff to grill at the camp on their own. They didn't go out for lunches. They did it for their dinners, but I commend them for doing that. They're looking out for the city for some of the cost of it. It only cost for the week-long training, it only cost breakdown about $340, $350 per officer. That's pretty excellent training for what that is. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor and council, I just wanted to provide you an update on the sidewalk improvement program. That'll be coming to an end this week. So we're wrapping up the pilot year, and it'll be a little less than 3,500 linear feet. And so we were on schedule and on budget. And that 3,500 linear feet represents 6 years worth of previous production combined into one. So for all intents and purposes, it's been a success and it's been going very well. There are items that we have identified that we can improve upon, mostly on the administrative side of things that we would like to call out in a line item. But generally speaking, there is really nothing else that we had issues with. So just wanted to provide you an update.
Good job.
work. Yeah.
Great
good
work.
To you and your staff.
Thank you.
No.
It's been a little bit.
No.
Good way.
You ready to move yet?
Do I now?
Are you ready to move yet?
few boxes in there.
Good evening. So as you came in tonight, you saw that is organized chaos, we like to say. As you walk in, you see the visitor center. We are currently open, normal hours except for Fridays. I'd like to take this time to thank everybody from the city because this really truly has been a team project, from Public Works to IT to the community development team. They haven't blocked me yet and they've answered all of my crazy questions. I do feel like I owe them a lot of Tylenol, chocolate, and Pepsi, Coke, whatever they prefer. But I really truly owe them because I'm very, very grateful. This is a project that I knew nothing about. Renovation is not a word I want to hear in the near future. But I know a little bit, and now I can watch Bob Vila and know maybe about fourth of what he's talking about. But we are hoping to be moved in later in October. And once we get dates, once we get approval, check all the boxes. Of course, everyone will know. We will be shouting it from the rooftop, but this really truly has been a team project. I'm very, very grateful.
Quick update, McGuire Street property owner meetings are going well. So we have met with a handful of property owners. We are still following up with phone numbers and emails on those property owners that we have not heard from yet. I'm really trying to get in touch with everybody so they all have an opportunity to talk with us about the access management. We do have one more meeting tomorrow with a owner that has a couple properties along McGuire, but so far these conversations have been incredibly positive and constructive. And so we know we still have several out there we haven't been able to talk to yet, but so far they are going well. Another reminder for City Council, October 6th and 7th is Berg Fest. We will have a booth for Rethink McGuire. We will have opportunities for folks to register, to get signed up for our e-newsletter, for them to submit suggestions, comments on what they might be concerned about. And also, I do believe there's going to be an activity for children, because that's really, Berg Fest is a good event for the kids. So we have that. Also wanting council to mark your calendars for November 2nd. That is when we'll have our Rethink McGuire Visioning Workshop, and we will open it up to the entire community to really be our first public engagement, first community outreach, to have renderings available for folks to weigh in on design options and design things that we're looking at for McGuire. Things are moving right along. It's been great. Also Wednesday, we do have that informational meeting for a request for qualifications. If that is on your calendar and you're planning to attend, that is great, but it really is meant for just the contractors and subcontractors that are interested in signing up for our or submitting qualifications for our project. So, do you have anything you want to add on McGuire Street?
What time was that meeting on the 2nd again?
From 5 to 7.
Thank you.
So an interesting item worth capturing. So what is very unique about McGuire and the project and what it represents to the city is that if you were to break the project down into its individual elements of stormwater, traffic signal improvements, road reconstruction, et cetera, that it would be the largest stormwater project we've ever undertaken. It would be the largest traffic signal improvement project we've ever undertaken, the largest road reconstruction project we've ever undertaken, safety improvements we've ever undertaken. And so I think that's worth capturing the magnitude of this project. And in addition to the interchange, it sees around 18,000 vehicles per day, which is almost approximately the population of Warrensburg. And so that's also adding to a layer of the importance of the corridor itself. And so I thought that was at least worth sharing as well.
Finally, for my final comments this evening, I do want to thank Marcella McCoy. Tonight is her last city council meeting with the city of Warrensburg. Marcella came to the city of Warrensburg in December of 2019. She has been our finance director and has been truly got us through COVID and got us through a interim stint with the city manager and transition to a new city manager. So we do thank her for that, and along with all the other work she's done and all the projects that she's accomplished here in the city of Warrensburg. So I do want to say thank you, and then I will turn it over to her for her last director of finance.
Now you got all your Monday nights free.
I do have all my money nights. Thank you again. Thank you too, Danielle. So this evening is a recap of August revenues and expenditures that were recorded to date when this report was ran. We've talked about insurance. I happened to discover today, about an hour ago, that we hadn't populated all of our insurance premiums for 2023 just yet. So that's been populated. That's not reflected in this. And so as you get reports next month for what has happened through September, which will be the entire capture of the fiscal year, those numbers will change pretty dramatically. Right now, it shows that we are definitely in a positive manner for almost all of our funds as far as revenues exceeding expenditures as of the end of August, which is a large highlight considering the fact that budget has been adopted for fiscal 23 with the suggested and recommended use of fund balances to complete, many of our parks projects, many of our public improvement projects. We had planned to use fund balance to provide for most of those. And so we've not had to do a lot of that. You'll see in your reports that we, naturally we're using the proceeds from the rescue plan money. And so that's very apparent, with that $1 million+ negative number that you can see in those reports as far as revenue, did not cover that $1 million because we've had that money sitting there. And remember specifically that the American Rescue Plan money needs to be appropriated or at least obligated by the end of 2024 and spent in totality, including all of your interest earnings by 2026. And your bond proceeds monies, which, you've heard Enrico just talk about the McGuire Street project. So thanks to our citizens for issuing that, for allowing us to issue that $17 million that we will easily expend and hopefully get a wonderful corridor down through the middle of town that will help with a lot of the traffic challenges and the stormwater challenges that we have through there. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks
your good work.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Dooley?
We do have a closed session.
Oh, all the fun.
At least there.
You had the air on over there.
What?
You had the air on.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say, Chief Munsterman, tell the SWAT team we really appreciate.
Yeah, I will, and I was just crunching the numbers, it's actually 382.
What?
I thought I was way off compared to, because they passed on an email to me and I was like, wait a second, that came up to 700, but that was the total. And then whenever I crunched numbers, 382 per officer. That's pretty good with your fuel and your.
Absolutely.
Or a week's worth of training per man, that's cheap.
Training.
And woman.
Woman, officers, excuse me. Okay, we have,
Juliana King Taylor is the first woman we've had on our SWAT team in.
It's the first one we've ever had that, the sheriff's office had one on approximately 20 years ago. So
It's one of our 2023 accomplishments.
there you go, great. Awesome, okay. Motion to close part of this meeting pursuant to section 610-021 of the revised statutes of Missouri relating to legal actions, causes of action or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential information or privileged communications between a public government body or its representatives and its attorneys.
Move.
Osborne,
Yes.
Euler,
Yes.
Kushner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then you will adjourn.